You're watching the Battered Fans Network.
Brandon, Batter fans are back. Welcome everybody to episode number 3 of the Battered Marlins Fans podcast. I am your host, Daniel Gordon, alongside me as well, Mr. Brandon Griffin. How are you doing, sir?
Oh man, I am on top of the world. You called it
Oh,
five and
top of the
one.
world. Yes. No, you know I'm a little disappointed because I felt like 6-0 should have been on the table. And
Yeah.
quickly after that fourth inning in the first game, I was like, oh man, oh, it was a nice
Yeah.
thought. It was a nice thought.
Yeah, I thought
So,
the same thing. It's like, oh my God, we got it wrong.
yeah, no, I know. I was like, oh my God, this is gonna be the White Sox coming out party. But
Yeah.
luckily we stabilized after game one. Uh, Junk had his stuff, and then we'll start with Sandy.
Yeah.
Sandy El Caballo Alcántara. He is wheeling. He is dealing.
Yeah.
13th career complete game was a 5th career shutout. He was on it, and all I could
Yeah.
think of, I remember last summer we were on here and we were talking and we said, is he gonna get dealt? And people are like, no, people are lowballing the Marlins because he's not on his game.
Yeah.
How much are people regretting not taking him on a bargain deal last year? Because I mean, I
Oh
understand
my
that the
God.
Marlins weren't selling low, but they weren't selling as high as they're gonna have to sell if they decide to trade him away. Like, teams got to be kicking themselves in the ass right now.
Oh, for sure. I mean, on top of everything, like yesterday was his second Maddox, which is
Yes,
for those who don't know, it's a complete game with under 100 pitches thrown, which is like insane.
crazy
Um,
efficiency.
yeah. I mean, I think if
Didn't he get
Sandy
2 outs
keeps
in the
this
first
up,
2 pitches?
yeah,
Yeah, it was.
yeah.
Yeah,
If Sandy keeps this up, I think we're talking our second Cy Young. He's going to be in that conversation because he looks lights out. Like, and his mentality is completely different. The way he composes himself on the mound is different than it was last year, and he's like lasered in. He's focused. He's just he's mixing up his pitches so well. Like he's added a couple pitches in the last year or two, and he's really like refined them. Like he's looking really good. And if we were smart, we'd sign him to an extension, but we'll see. It's gonna be
I would
expensive.
love that. I would love
Yeah.
that. But I mean, you know what? Things are different now with Peter Bendix. I don't know. Maybe he's a little more savvy. I remember I looked into Peter Bendix when he first got here, and I remember he joined the Rays in
Hmm.
2009. So the year after they randomly turned it around, right? Because the year before he got there,
Yeah.
they randomly came for the first 10 years. They were one of the piss poor teams in the league. Then 2009 hits. They, well, who was it? Was it Madden? That was
Yeah.
the manager. He turned them around and they made it to the World Series, and then they just kind of just kept their foot on the pedal. And although they weren't spending a lot of money, I mean, as soon as
They were
Bendix got there,
competing.
obviously he wasn't the main guy, but he was part of the franchise. Like, he's seen it continue
Yeah.
on after that first year. He wasn't part of that first year, but he saw what it took to keep that, because the Rays
Hmm.
after 2009, they kept competing and they were a
Yeah.
top AL East team for the next
Yeah.
decade. And so he's seen what that is. He knows how to create a roster when your limitations financially are there. And you know what? I had my doubts. I think you had your doubts also. We all had our doubts.
Yeah. I
Because they let
I
Kim
was a
go,
big
remember? And we were like, oh,
yeah,
why do you let Kim go? And
I was a big Kim fan, but when you look
yeah,
back at it and you see the people that Bendix traded away from that team and how they're performing now on their other teams since he's traded them and where we are now, like I'm sorry, Bendix, you were right.
yeah.
Like Kim built a team to compete that year.
Hmm.
Bendix is building a contender for we're going to compete for years. And part of that is you decide which of your homegrown talent to keep. Part of that is bringing in new pieces through trades and stuff. So, I think at this point, it's what does Bendix think? Does he think we're going to be competing next year? And if so, we're going to need Sandy. So he's going to have to man up and pay the guy. But at the same time, you know, does he think that we can get a bunch of prospects that's going to set us up for the next 5 to 6 years? Maybe that's worth it. But I think with a guy like Sandy, especially with how he is now, I think signing him to an extension is pretty low risk because you've got like a top, in my opinion, Sandy is a top like 10, maybe even top 5 starter in the league when he's on it.
When he's
And
on, yeah, for sure.
yeah, And if you sign that guy to an extension, there's always going to be teams that want him. So you sign him to an extension, you still have the ability to trade. So to me, it makes sense, especially with his relationship with Yuri, because I think if you keep Sandy, Sandy can groom Yuri, show him his mistakes that he made early on in his career, and hopefully expedite Yuri's maturing into what we expect to be our next ace. So, in my mind, it's a no-brainer, especially after seeing his mentality this year. But we'll see what the club decides to do.
I got a little PTSD though, like with that John Carlos Stanton. Remember, everybody was really excited that he signed, but then you see that it's backloaded, and you're like, "Oh, this isn't going
Yeah,
very long." So, I mean, I could see them giving him what he wants. But again, that was a different front office. Maybe it'll
yeah,
be different this time. But that's the fear that I have in situations like that. That they'll do something silly like that just because it's the Marlins, and it takes you a
yeah.
while to kind of get out. Even though I'm starting to get there, right? I'm starting to get like, you know what? Maybe this is a different Marlins than we're accustomed to over the
hmm
last couple decades, and maybe they're gonna move a little differently. And I think step one to make people feel like, okay, this is different, is making sure that you lock in Sandy.
Yeah, and I think you really should. Like, I think in the terms of the contract will tell us what the Marlins' intention really is, right? If it's evenly spread out, their intention is to keep Sandy until they get a really good offer or until we win. And,
Mhm.
that would speak volumes to me. I'd rather see like even if it's a short term, like if you give the guy like a 2 or 3 year contract and you commit even payments to him, I think that says, yeah, we're going to keep him for a while. He's going to be here. And,
Yeah.
if you spread that money out, or if you say like, hey, we're backloading the contract, that tells you the Marlins aren't really serious. They're
Yeah. No,
signing him
absolutely.
just to placate us, and then they're going to move him on. But
But
at this
I think
point,
at least I hope that the fan base is a little more savvy at this point once they see that. I mean, you know what the issue is, Brighton? The issue is that this fan base is so small and so quiet.
it is. It's just
Because if
us.
they were to do that, Fish on First, us,
Yeah,
anybody else, a couple big voices on social media, they'll say it, they'll call it out, but the fan base is so small that like it won't make an impact, and
yeah,
and they'll backload it, so the casual fans will be like, oh wow, they really signed this guy for a long time,
yeah,
but the fan base is so small, we'll be calling out like, no, this is John Carlos Stanton all over again, and nobody will
yeah.
really care. But I don't think
Because
they'll do
my
that
thing
again.
is, and I think I probably speak for most of the Marlins fan base is we need a Hall of Famer. We need somebody in the Hall of Fame, right? Like there is no like there are plenty of people who started here with the Marlins. We traded
Yep,
away in our Hall of
plenty.
Famers. Miguel
Mhm.
Cabrera, Gary
Josh
Sheffield,
Beckett.
yeah, Josh Beckett. You can probably even throw like guys like future Hall of Famer John Carlos Stanton might make it one day. And they're all going to be in different uniforms. In my mind,
Mhm.
our best shot at a Hall of Famer right now in the Hall is Sandy.
Sandy. Yeah.
If he keeps it up, if he keeps pitching like this for, a couple more years, brings in another Cy Young or two, you're talking a Hall of Famer. That's what this fan base needs. This
You know what's
fan base
interesting?
needs like an icon because we as local fans, we all know like the Ring of Circle that or the Ring of Honor that they're doing with like Niner and JP and Castillo and Gonzalez and all these guys is fantastic. But we need like an icon for the team. And in my mind, you got to sign Sandy. You got to keep him going because if we can get a Marlin in the Hall of Fame, that would go
You
that
know,
would go a long way for this fan
I never
base.
considered that until you just said that. I'm trying to think really hard. Like, is there anybody that would be even close? And I don't think there's
No,
anybody that
because they
comes even
haven't spent
close.
enough time here.
No, not even close.
No.
Giancarlo Stanton might be the only one, just because he had that crazy season where he was chasing 60, won
Yeah.
the MVP.
Well, I mean,
But
oh,
yeah,
and
he
Yelich,
was
geez,
small.
I forgot
Literally,
Yelich. Yeah.
yes, and Yelich, that's right.
Yeah, but
He was
Yelich will go
good
in
with
as
the
a
Brewers.
Brewer.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely with the Brewers. Even
Stanton will
though
go as a
Giancarlo
Yankee.
Stanton has never had a season like he had with the Marlins with the Yankees.
No.
But in the postseason, he has been incredible for the
Yeah.
Yankees. Um,
Yeah.
but that's not enough to get you in the Hall. But
I mean, I
yeah,
don't
that
think he's
was
a Hall of
interesting.
Famer right now, but
No, no, not right
you
now.
never know.
Definitely not. But that was interesting. I never considered that. So,
Yeah.
Sandy, wheeling and dealing, we love that. but a couple other surprises. Liam Hicks leading the league in RBIs. We're waiting
I
for J Mac, and Liam Hicks
we
says,
were.
"Hold my beer. We might got something here." What do you
Yeah.
think of Liam Hicks? And then just the way that this team is batting in general, they're leading the league in batting average.
It's fantastic. I mean, we do have to take it with a grain of salt, right? Like two of the
Yes.
worst teams that we possibly could play were playing right off the bat. But
And remember, I told you before this series, the White Sox allowed 29 runs to the Brewers,
yeah,
and they followed that up by giving up, what was it, 23 to us?
hmm and it's, they're doing what they have to do. You have to beat the teams, the bad teams, to compete, and that's what they're doing. And Hicks has been phenomenal this season, is really making me eat my words because I was like, how do you have this guy on the roster? Where's Joe Mack? Like, we need
Mhm.
Mack. And here
Absolutely.
he is, piling up RBIs and just, playing like a champion. He's doing fantastic.
Yeah, supposedly he changed up his swing a bit. He's been raking. Xavier Edwards has been playing great.
Casey
Um,
Owens or Owens Casey.
Owens
Yeah.
Casey has been playing great. Like this team, it's looking like it's just overall solid.
Oh, and a
But like you
niner
said,
home run. I loved it.
yeah, but like you said, the competition is what kind of puts a little pause to that. At the
Yeah.
moment, with top three records in the league, it's the Brewers, which also played against the White Sox, so that's why they're up there
hmm
also. So nobody says that about them, but they say it about us. But whatever, I understand. Um, the Yankees, and then obviously the Miami Marlins, and then we're
Yeah.
playing against those said Yankees in their home opener
Yeah.
today and for the series. Now, the Yankees technically had an advantage going into the series because they started their season last Wednesday. So they've already
Yeah.
had two rest days in the first week. So that's why Max Fried pitched, I think it was the second game of their second
hmm
series. So they're in a good spot. Their bullpen is pitching well also. They've also been well rested. But the fact that Sandy went out there 9 innings and our bullpen has
Oh
looked
yeah.
strong, that helps so much because that gave them an extra rest day.
Yeah. Exactly. And then, you've got Yuri going tonight or this afternoon. I hate that it's a 1:30 start and I can't watch live. But
I'll be
um
able to watch it, luckily.
yeah, I know. Maybe I'll listen to it. But um we've got Yuri going tonight, fully rested bullpen, even if things go south tomorrow. I think, the bullpen's rested. They're gonna be able to step up. But yeah, I think it's fully possible. And I mean, we're not there yet, but I think we can take 2 out of 3 from the Yankees. I think we definitely can.
Uh, Taking 2 out of 3 would be a huge win. If you win
Yeah.
that series, all of a sudden, and then it's the Yankees in their home opener. And look, the Marlins have always played the Yankees well. Look
hmm
it up. It's a fact. They've always played
It's
them well.
it's always like it's
And
a World Series for them. Like we mark it on our calendar, and it's like we got to beat them.
and another thing is the Yankees have started off hot this year, pitching wise. But
hmm
their bats have not woken up yet. They
Yeah.
haven't played necessarily great. They haven't been bad, but they haven't been great either. So it's going to be interesting. I'm definitely looking forward to it. And if we can win that series, I think if we come back on Monday and we're talking about a 7-2 start and you beat the Yankees 2 out of 3, I don't think it'll be a sweep either way. I don't think the Yankees will sweep the
No,
Marlins. I
no,
don't think the
no,
Marlins will sweep the Yankees.
no.
But if the Marlins can get that second game, I'm coming
Yeah.
on here and I'm talking shit. Like I said, I'm feeling us, and I think that we're to be taken seriously because at that point, and then you have the Reds coming up after that, I believe, right?
Yeah. We've got a 4-game series at home with the Reds before we hit the road with the Tigers and Braves. So you definitely have the opportunity to rack up some wins here early in the season, and that's really what's going to make the difference because as we get later in the season, we're getting our easy games out of the way now.
Mm-hmm.
The end of the season, we have what we would assume is going to be our tougher games, so we got to rack up the wins now. And I think the Yankee series for the season always kind of seems to be like a good barometer of what's going to happen, right?
But
Like that
generally,
year
it's
we
in the
made the
summer. I don't know why we're
playoffs.
playing them so early.
Yeah, it does think that it's this early because it had been like July, June or July the last 2 seasons. And you remember when we made the playoffs? Like
It was
we
in
thought we were going to
August.
make the playoffs right after we came out of that sweep. We swept the
We
Yankees.
swept. That's it. It was over.
And then last season it was we got or not last season, season before we got swept by the Yankees. And that's what killed our season. And so, it'll be a good barometer. Those games are always fun. I wish we were wearing the teal in one of those games so we could get some flashbacks of '03.
Well, you need a black jersey for that, no?
Yeah, but even if it was just the old logo out on the field against the Yankees,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then just bring Josh Beckett as a special guest to just
Oh
sit in the
yeah.
dugout.
Have him and maybe Mike Lowell, little Red
Yeah.
Sox
All
salt
right.
in the
So
wound there too.
we could end it with this. Sandy, great performance, gets interviewed after
Yeah.
the game, and he kind of takes a little dig at the fan base, which I feel rightfully so.
Yeah.
No, we talked about it last show. I said it's a shame that Owen Casey hit a walk-off home run to end the opening series with a
Yeah.
walk-off debut of the Teal, and it was like 10,000 plus people there. 2 nights before, it had been 30,000 for opening night.
Yeah.
Sandy comes out here, is like, yeah, this was great. Love our fans. Wish it was more than 6,000 people here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's right.
absolutely right.
Yeah.
There should be more than 6,000 people out there.
Yeah. There's
Did
enough
you
people
think?
that showed up during the week for World Baseball Classic games to tell you that the fans are here. And it's just, I can't blame people for not showing up for the Marlins because I get it. Like, it's hard for me to justify driving all the way down to Miami as a diehard Marlins fan to
Mhm.
go to like every weekend series. Like, it's hard for me to do that because I'm gonna go to the stadium and it's gonna be like, which one? Always in the back of my mind, I'm looking at players like trade value. Like who's gonna be gone next? Who's gonna be gone?
Yeah, I
And
mean that's
the
fair.
front office has to change that. Like, and they can. If we have a couple years of consistent roster players and competing, like I think we can change that and we can get more people. Maybe it won't be 30,000 every night, but during a weeknight game in Miami, there should be like 12, 15,000 people there. That should be doable.
Yeah, it should be. And do you think if Sandy were to get that contract, people would maybe turn up if it's a regular contract?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think the other thing too is like, so now, with obviously, you and I are diehard Inter Miami fans too, with Inter Miami moving to Miami, like there's more competition now than there ever was
Yeah,
for people coming to games
it's right down the
because
street.
right, it's right down the street, it's during the week sometimes, it's on the
Wednesdays.
weekend,
Hmm.
like and they have a superstar. The Marlins
Hmm.
don't. So if they want to continue to draw, they gotta start investing in the team because this is a really good time to do this too, right? Like
Hmm.
there's going to be spaces in between MLS season where baseball is being played. There's going to be gaps where hockey season is over and baseball is being played, and same with basketball and the NFL. Like
Basketball's
there
over.
are spaces where the Marlins can really pack in people if they compete. And nobody's going to choose to go to a Marlins game over an Inter Miami game or a Marlins game over a Panthers game, even at this point. But it's filling those gaps in the South Florida sports schedule where I think the Marlins could really start making some headway on the fan base.
I
And they
remember
just
in
have to compete.
2023. In 2023, when the Heat and the Panthers both made those finals runs, they both lost,
Yeah.
but they both made those runs. And people were so like Miami sports, like, I love Miami 305
Yeah.
till I die, blah.
Yeah.
So they were like, let's go. And then they were just randomly started showing up to the Marlins games. And coincidentally, they were doing well that season. I remember
Right.
that summer was really fun going out to the stadium because I was like, wow, there's people here. Like,
Yeah.
it wasn't sold out, but you had 15 plus for a couple weeks there, and that was fun. And then eventually it died
Yeah.
down, but
Because you
it was
remember,
really cool.
I think that all culminated, like it all started, I think it was Yuri's debut, his professional
Oh
debut. You
yes, I
remember we all
remember
made
that.
it
Was that
out
was
to the
that that year?
stadium. Yeah, we all made it out to the stadium for that. And
Yeah,
and like it was just jam packed. Like it was crazy. I've never seen so many people there. And it was for like a random, like, because I think it was like a Thursday night game. It
wasn't it
wasn't
a
like a
Friday?
weekend game. maybe it was a Friday. I don't
I think it was a
remember.
Friday.
But I remember thinking like I've never seen this many people here on this day, like on a weekday. Um, and I think the Marlins can get back to that. It's just we gotta keep pushing the roster because you know I think the Marlins probably have the most boring regular jerseys in the league, but I think we
Yeah,
have the best. We have the best City Connect. We've
the
got the
best weekend
throwback teal.
jerseys.
Yeah, like there's no reason like we shouldn't pack the stadium at least on the weekends.
I love the teal. Nostalgia is part of it, but and it's just
Yeah,
beautiful in general. But I'm
yeah.
sorry, that City Connect jersey, I absolutely love it. I wear that all the
Oh, I
time.
know. So do I.
I wear it
I
all the
wear the
time.
hat all the time.
Yeah,
Like I
yeah.
wear
I have
wear
that
the
also.
jersey. It's just,
That's such a beautiful jersey. It's just
oh,
so
I
Miami,
know.
right? That
Yeah,
nightlife. So, all right. Well, great series.
yeah,
5-1, great start. Even though we knew that you would start against the Rockies and the White Sox, I still don't think anybody expected this kind of start. Just because you
no,
expect that, yeah, they're better than maybe the worst teams, but you didn't think that they were gonna
this
curb
much
stomp the
better.
White Sox 2 games. Gonna have Sandy, could have gone two, probably 9 innings strong if they would have let him an
Yeah,
opening day. Yuri, they stopped. You think
yeah,
if Yuri is playing the way even though like I said, and he went 7 strong on Saturday, and I gave him to him. You go 7, you,
yeah.
you earn some credit, but I don't think he was as dominant as Sandy. Like, he was getting hit hard, and if you get
No,
hit hard
yeah,
in Yankee Stadium, those are leaving the ballpark.
yeah. Well, that and Yuri, like, what did he give up? 4 runs, three
Yep,
runs. So
4.
I knew he wouldn't go very long. But if Yuri's scoreless, if he hasn't given up anything going
You
into the
think they'll
seventh,
let him?
I think so, depending on his pitch count,
And then you
because
get let
he's,
Fairbanks. Let's give him 8, and then let Fairbanks take care of the rest.
yeah. Exactly. That's what I would do because let Yuri start stretching it out and prove to himself that he can do it. Because once Yuri throws his first complete game, that's going to give him a lot of confidence. He's going to know I'm touching Sandy level, and that's going to spark him, I think. He just needs to be able to prove it to himself that he can do it.
When are we getting Stowers back?
Oh God. I don't know. I haven't seen like a return date for him yet, I don't think.
We get him back. All of a sudden, this
Yeah.
lineup got a little more pop to it.
Well, but the thing is who do you pull out to make room for him? Because the outfielders have been hitting really well.
Uh, I mean, it's Stowers. I mean, you have to pull somebody out.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'd pull out what's this kid's name? Hernandez,
yeah,
Heriberto or whatever. He got a
yeah.
little bit of play. Um,
Because you got to
uh,
rotate Niner in there. He's looking really good. Owen Casey's got to stay out there.
no,
Marcy's
Owen
got to stay
Casey's got
out
to stay
there.
up.
Yeah,
Marseille obviously stays up, and then I mean, yeah, you put Stowers out there.
you probably
Hernandez
see
and
less of
Conine. I
Liam
know, I know,
Hicks,
it,
maybe.
it kills you to hear that about Conine, but Conine gotta, you know, he's gotta,
Yeah,
you gotta
I
have
don't know.
Stowers out there, man. You gotta see if last year was not just a fluke.
Yeah, I mean, depending on the severity of his strain, like they might. I could see a world where they bring him in early, but maybe DH him, and then we see a little bit less of Liam Hicks behind the plate.
Augustine Ramirez hasn't looked great,
No, maybe you see
and he's not good
Ramirez hit the bench
defensively.
for a
So
little
if
bit.
he's not giving you a bat, then what the hell is he giving you?
It's Joe Mack time.
I'm gonna ride this Liam Hicks thing until it falls off, which might be soon, but I'm gonna ride it out until it falls off. I want to believe that this is a diamond in the rough.
Yeah. No, it's kind of like God, what was his name? I forget him. I forget his name. Geez, we had him as a catcher for a couple years, and we always were writing him off, and he was always like performing in the clutch situations.
I can't remember. All right.
Ugh.
Well, as always, it's fun doing the show. It's
Yeah.
even more fun when they're winning and you get to talk about all this stuff. Um, so it's fun, and I'm hoping that the boy Stowers comes back and it wasn't a one hit wonder, and that he can keep going. Because if he can bring that bat that he was doing last year, and, look, this team is just gonna keep stacking, and just that's the goal, right? Get two. Get two, and if you can get 2 out of 3 against the Yanks, you're in a good spot. All right. Any final words there, Branton?
No, let's just go out there and beat the Yankees. That's it.
Yeah, absolutely. That's it. It's gonna be rough. It's the home opener, so it's not gonna be easy. But get 2 out of 3. You're feeling pretty good. If you're listening on audio,
Absolutely.
appreciate you listening to the end. Please leave 5 stars in a comment. If you're watching on YouTube, like and subscribe. And we will be back on Monday talking about a 7-2 start. Putting it out there, manifest it. So until the next one. By the way, best record in the National League if that happens. Until the next one, have a good